Man, oh man, oh man. Whew. Trying to recover from one hell of a weekend. It was great. Tonight's going to be a special show. Man, this is your boy. Welcome back. Season 4, episode 404 of the Pull Up Podcast Show. And of course, I'm your mans and them, the one and only Coach Tony. And man, I had an eventful year. Listen to me, eventful weekend. Coming off of a great weekend in Chicago. Always good to get back home. But get back home to see my classmate out of the 35th. Man, it was interesting. It was very exciting. It was wonderful, beautiful people. My guys won the football games, kicking it out at NCC. So we're going to talk a little bit about that up front before we get into some interesting topics tonight. But let's make some house notes. Let's make sure we share the show. Make sure we like the show. Send it to your friends and make sure they share the show with people that they've got. More importantly, subscribe to the show as we give you quarter by quarter sports information. Of course, I got my one and only sidekick riding with me tonight. We'll bring her out in a moment. But before we do that, Val, you know what to do. Drop it.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said Val's the voice and Coach Tony, you know. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.
Man, every time I hear that track, I'm ready to bounce with it. As I said a moment ago, welcome back to the Pull Up Podcast Show. This is your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my girl sidekick ride with me tonight, Val, the voice Johnson. Jump out here, Val. Let's make it happen. Where's she at? Oh, man,
Hey,
come on now.
it's called I got to push some buttons, bro. This is what happens here. I'm the button pusher. I'm normally not doing this co-host situation. Okay, my okay.
Man, this is good, man. Welcome to the show. Coming off of a hell of a weekend. Got my girl Lisa Johnson, my baby girl. What's happening? Checking in tonight, Megan. What's good with your man, Val? We put on the rooftop. Did some things this weekend. Coming off of a great weekend back at NCC. It was great to see everybody. You know, Walter Johnson, my mans and them. And by the way, stay close to me because Walter will be coming on the show. I think, I want to say next Monday, but we're working everything out. And
I see Coach is frozen somewhat. Oh my gosh. So we're going to make sure that he gets himself together. Let's go ahead and say hello to Johnny Pratt. Good to see you as well. And oh my gosh, Ashley representing out of Brooklyn. How are you guys doing? Oh my gosh. Well, Coach wanted me to make sure and make sure that we mention this is that it is National Coaches Day. And I think, Coach, is he back? Give me a thumbs up. Are you back? There you are. Yes. I don't know what happened. You froze. You were like this. And I
had to strike a Heisman pose for a minute on him. Bam. Yeah, National Coaches Day made me feel good. I was at practice tonight, and my players made sure they brought me a little something, so I appreciate it. And I want to take the time out myself to wish my colleagues, my peers, my mentors that's out there in the coaching land a National Happy Coaches Day. I know you guys do a hell of a good job. It's difficult working with these kids and being a mentor, but keep doing what you do.
And speaking of mentors, Coach, I think what has been phenomenal, one of the reasons why we were in Naperville, Illinois for North Central College's homecoming from October 2nd through the 5th was that there were a lot of outstanding individuals that were being recognized by the college. And I got this from the North Central College official website and Facebook page. all of the wonderful folks that we see here in this photo received an Outstanding Alumni Award. Congratulations to all of the winners. And it was a beautiful dinner that happened in a brand new Wise Science Center upstairs. It was just good to see everyone there. And of course, we have some folks from North Central College. Megan's like, what's good? What's up, girl?
Good. Yeah. And my boy checking in from St. Louis, Johnny P in the house. What's good? Hey, make sure you know us tonight, JP, when we talk about a couple of these subjects tonight too. But yeah, Lisa Johnson was on here first to check in, and it was great because my class again showed out as normal. It's what we do. It's how we do. It was just great to see when Walter came on. They always, as they say, Val, say the best for last, right? And we made sure that we showed up and showed out. But I also want to give big shout out to two of my classmates that I think that not only eloquently deserve it, but they've done some phenomenal thing. And Dawn, please, she's in education, doing her thing right now. I think she's out in the Missouri, Kansas City area. And it was just great to hear her story. Funny. She was very hilarious about the story, just how she grew up and how she got out to the school. And then my boy, the one and only, Carlos Barber, what's good with you tonight? Checking in, in the food service, taking his parents' business and just rocking and rolling and doing some major things, big donor back to North Central. So, man, my classmates doing some big things. And then I also want to make sure that the ones who couldn't make it in, Esther Benjamin, Esther doing some big things. She couldn't make it in, Drew Hunter didn't get with there. Corey wasn't there. And like my little brother, Pete, was in the house. Appreciate you, baby. And everybody, Vanessa, Rhea, my girl, was in the house, just hung out, kicked it. And then my boy, Carl. Carl Brooks hanging there with me this week. I was so glad me and Carl kicked it. So I want to just, say hello. And of course, we got a bigger salutatorium tomorrow night on the show. We'll bring out some more photos and some pics. But I just want to say thank you to each and every one. I was so glad that I made it back home. And 35 years later, Val, everybody looks good. Everybody had a blast. And Walter is still kicking it, except the man bun. I don't know.
I was so tickled when I saw his man bun, but I definitely was happy. And Lisa says Dawn was hilarious, but powerful. Yes, she was. Oh my gosh. She could give like a whole TED talk on her life. I would go and check that out. Wouldn't you, Coach?
Man, she was a brand new comedian. I was loving it because the punchlines was on point. I mean, and she just, like most people do, they just telling the truth. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's Dawn in the front in this photo, and everyone holding up their outstanding alumni achievement. It's really wonderful. And here's the thing: Walter said he just pretty much hijacked part of the dinner because he says he just wanted to have just a reunion, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on tomorrow. But like I said, Walter was the one that kind of brought all of us together. He was a graduate of North Central College in 1980, and myself, a lot of us are there.
We were class. We was largest class coming through the door at the time, and put him on the map. Put the city on the map. And we damn near put the bars on the map this weekend. I can tell you that. But we had a blast. I mean, again, it was. I didn't really want to leave everybody. We just had said, what was cool about it. And I know you got out with us on Saturday, but Megan and Rhea and Vanessa and all that, they was wilding. But to make sure that every night everybody got home, that's what I love more. We got a big group chat going on. There goes Sandy. If it wasn't for Sandy, I wouldn't be on the podcast Style of House. So appreciate you, Sandy. Big ups, and all that. But, nobody was bigger than nobody else. Everybody's pen was a ballpoint, and it was cool like that.
Yeah, and so we're just like really proud of everyone who won, and much love and congratulations.
My boy, man, and he had a beautiful family. I got a chance to meet his daughter, Val. She's and his son, and whatnot, and this girl. I mean, just got a chance to just sit back and kick it with him. My roommate, funny Matt Hook, got to send a shout out to Matt. He's sitting next to me at the dinner table the Thursday night and all that during the event. So I ain't seen him in a while. Seeing my boy Danker, Rich Thompson, give a shout out to him being downstate, winning the first championship in high school in Illinois at this little small town. So man, the class doing some big things, man. Respect that.
Yeah, and I'm really touched and was just happy to see. I think there was only about 3 or 4 folks that I remember from our
them dudes right there.
93. Yeah, but
there, man. Sean, my baby brother Zoe, we had to baptize Zoe. Zoe came in and Nate, man, we did the Thug Thistle. So it was good. I got a chance to finish out, started out with us on Thursday and finished with these guys on Saturday. It was awesome.
Yeah, but we really did have a great time, and I'm really excited and grateful that we got a chance to see a lot of the folks just kind of pull up and have a good time. And so I'm excited. I even have my alumni bag that I got. Thank you. It's the alumni. It'll be on display tomorrow too.
Just remember, hey Megan, hey Lisa, I'm about to trip on y'all for a minute. Val,
please don't do that. We want them to come back. We want them to come back.
No, I ain't talking that. Val running around trying to get me a name tag and call us Bobby to throw it away. Do you not know who you walking around with? Like, I need a name tag. Come on, man. Man.
I'm just saying. But it's exciting, and I'm grateful because we were gonna do a replay for tonight, but I'm glad that we didn't because we had made so many wonderful connections and was telling people about this podcast and what we've been doing. And so I say much love. And
catch it when it's hot.
Megan's like, don't say anything.
No, Megan's like, leave that alone. We got some good pictures still got to share. So, and we're working on another couple of big things with the class. So we'll keep the class in touch with everybody. And if you are on the yard with us, make sure you jump into the text chat that we got. And it's great too because we got so many different minds in the text chat, but we talk every day now. It's cool. And what's cool about it, the last thing we'll say before we jump in the show, 35 years strong, and everyone's back, and it's like we never skipped a beat. And the stories and the walk on the yard and remember the stories, remember this night, that night. And Megan, now you can say, shh.
Well, we really had a blast. And so we want to thank everyone. And like I said, Coach, who was this? I think Ophelia just said, no, Tony don't need no name tag. We know that. Yeah. You don't need no name tag. You're good.
I'm good. Speaking of tag, let's jump in this. Yeah, boy, Bronny James. He's not officially off the Lakers roster, but Val, man, right now, they kicked off the season yesterday. Lakers had an opportunity to open up against Golden State. Preseason is now here. So I'm just trying to see what's going on. So as of last night, he's still sitting there. And so the questions on the table tonight, and I was talking to Pratt earlier tonight, is sources say that by the end of preseason, LeBron James Jr. may no longer be with the Lakers. What you think about that, Val?
Well, when we talk about this was such a big deal for LeBron to have his son playing alongside of him. He should have retired, but he's still around. Right. And to welcome his son, I think any proud parent would want to be able to have fun and play sure. with alongside of their son. But I don't know. It is okay for others to have the legacy or that, of course you can come and play on the same NBA team that I'm on, but it could be that some people in the powers that be are like, well, you're not as strong of a player as your dad, and you haven't put up the numbers we think you should have put up. And then didn't he have a health issue last year?
No, it had health coming out of out of USC with his heart.
Yes, exactly.
So, I'm riding with you. And the big question that I have to ask really is, LeBron's kind of gone through this process, because if this was me, just me speaking out loud, and I'm in Bronny's shoes, the hell with the NBA, because he was already making, NIL deals at USC worth $12 million, right? We Nike endorsement guy, and then also Dr. Dre signed him to Dr. Dre Beats. So I would have been like, hey, Dad, I have no reason to jump to the league, to prove anything. Plus, even if he doesn't go to the league, Val, it's not like the brother's hungry for money, right? We already know that. He's strapped on that. So I would have sat tight, went on and graduated, something that my dad didn't do, got my degree, and then been able to say, okay, Dad, let me hang out with Uncle Rich Paul over these next few years. And so I can become an agent. He's best friends with Juju Watkins. And I'm always talking about Juju for those that don't know, point guard at USC. And then baby brother, he's going to probably be the NBA guy. He's 6'6", 6'6 and a half, and he can flat out play. So I'm going to Rich saying, hey, Uncle Rich, help me sign Juju, who's going to probably go to the WNBA. And then I'll turn around and sign little brother. And now he's an agent with 2 big-time players underneath him, and now he has his own money. Now you take the route of an NBA player. You no longer get the NIL money because you're not in college, and now you're having to go through this rigmarole to see if he even can fit at the NBA level. And the last person I saw do that, and it wasn't good, was Jeffrey Jordan and Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here's the thing. If he's able to turn things around and score and be a big draw while in this preseason with the NBA, they won't cut him. I feel like he has to go through some type of, I got to prove myself, which is weird. And I think you have to almost prove yourself more because you are LeBron is your dad and he's on the team with you. So, and they lost the game yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the preseason. Yeah. So it's just, you need to put up the numbers. You need to, prove that you should be here. And you're not just a legacy kid. You're not just here because of your father, but technically you are here because of your father. And I think, but you're saying this is a definite thing. It's going to happen. He's going to get cut. You're saying that definitely.
To say so. I'm going to make that comment on the other side. We're going to take a first quarter break here, pay a couple of bills, and I'm going to finish answering Val's question. We'll be right back on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, Coach Tony, and of course, I'm with my sidekick over here, Val the Voice Johnson.
Hey, I'm Coach Tony, and this is the Pull Up Podcast Show. For every Monday, we break down the game quarter by quarter and give you information as well as break down the coach. Join us on the Pull Up Podcast Show.
Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Val's the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said Val's the voice and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast.
Are you a small business owner looking to grow? Introducing the Key Spot mobile app. I'm Cynthia McAllister, owner of the IT company Quality SAP. Since 2016, we have been supporting small businesses and help them promote and share their businesses, services, and events across the country. Key Spot is more than just an app. We are a network providing community. Key Spot, connecting communities and supporting small businesses.
Hey, Coach, what's up? Uh-oh. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. We're getting some rain in the area, so I apologize. So things are going off and on, but we're back here, second quarter Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, Coach Tony and Val the Voice. Jay Pratt, I want to hear from you because I know you're always talking Lakers and LeBron. Coach Justin, I hope he out here because he said he was going to be on the show tonight. He always talks Lakers, and all that. But to answer Val's question on that, I don't think that it's going to be that way. Here's one reason why, Val.
Okay.
JJ Redick is the coach. We already know that LeBron is tied to him. We already know that kind of like LeBron is player coach. Okay. That ain't the real question. We know that LeBron's a semi-machine. So, as those say, right? But the question is, I see what happened to Lil Bronny. Will LeBron try to stick around for his other son, who's now a junior in high school, I think? So he's going to probably be 3 years out. He's got his senior year and 1 year of college. Then he has to go to the pros. I don't know. LeBron would be 42, 43. He'd probably be one of the oldest players ever to play at that point, 43, maybe 44-ish, and I don't know if he can stick around. That would be a huge question. But I think that Bronny, in my opinion, ends up going back to the G League. And I think this time, I don't know if he's going to even mentally worry about it, because sometimes, Val, this stuff takes a toll on your mind. I want to hear from the audience, but I just think he goes back to the G League and he says, I'm good.
Well, I don't know. I think he just has to prove himself, and I think he could turn it around depending on how well he plays during this preseason of the NBA. This is what's most important about this. If you can't prove that you can reverse, and do some defensive rebounding and scoring, can we keep you? Like we need to win. And when was the last time the Lakers was in the playoffs finals?
It's been a minute. Yeah, they missed it last year. The thing is, again, for him, you may not know this because you're not a coach. We always say, don't play for the name on the back, play for the name on the front. We know that's the motto. But unfortunately, with people like a Magic Johnson and a Michael Jordan, right, and a LeBron James and a Kobe Bryant, that name is on the back because you're a target. And every night you step on the court, somebody say, man, you ain't your old man. I'm about to kill you. I'm about to get at you every single night. So every night, 84 games in the league, you got to prove yourself and try to be injury-free. And he's playing at one of those positions, unfortunately, Val, where he's guarding the most important players on the other side, and that's the point guard. And that's a difficult task in the NBA.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll see what happens, and we'll keep you guys definitely informed when the NBA gets kicked off. Its season kicks off in the beginning of November. Is that correct?
Yep. We're getting through the next few weeks. In early November, the NBA will be going. My favorite season. I can't wait. I know a lot of people, I hate the NBA. Man, please. But you hate the NBA, but if you got a kid and you like, I want my kid to go to the NBA, that makes no sense to me. Right?
Yeah, and it's the league that attracts the wonderful talent. But we're hoping and praying that there's still a league for the women. The WNBA is wrapping up its season, but there's been a couple of hiccups that's been happening. But what do you want to talk about? I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We're gonna put that last. That's gonna be a big topic. We're gonna talk about college football right now, because me and Johnny Pratt been back and forth, and a couple of my guys about this, arguing all day long. Everybody know I'm a Big Ten guy, obviously Midwest. I got to fight these SEC guys all the time, and arguing with my boys since 9 o'clock this morning on some stuff. But right now, the new rankings came out this weekend. Of course, my Buckeyes are number 1. Miami moved up to number 2. I don't know how that happened. And Oregon slipped down to number 3. And then you got a couple of the SEC teams, and Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Oklahoma is there. Indiana's number 7. Alabama moved up to number 8. Texas Tech slid into that slot. Georgia, LSU followed out by Tennessee. So obviously my SEC guys are like, man, we got 5 teams in the top 10. Yeah, but here's the problem. Same thing the Big Ten has. Before the end of the season, they got to play each other. So somebody's got to lose, right? And if they slip and get beat once or twice, then they're done. The only thing I don't like some of the SEC fans they argue about is they don't think there's another conference outside of that. And Johnny P says, me and you, Big Ten all day. That's right. He a Michigan guy. That's right. JP from the Detroit area. By the way, Val, he from the D.
Detroit in the building, so of course he's going to root for that. But
yeah, he could be a Michigan State guy, but he's a Michigan guy, and I respect it and whatnot. So me and him always talking about that. But here's the question on the table, then, Pratt: which team will make it the deepest run without getting upended out of this top 10? which team will make the deepest run. Now, Val, I don't know if you know that. I'll start off, or I'll let you start off and, go from there.
Crimson.
You like Alabama?
I like Alabama.
Okay,
I like their quarterback. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay.
I'm gonna back away.
Okay, you going down south to the cotton fields again. I feel you.
I got family down there too, so of course I'm
biased.
I'm a little biased, but Johnny says I hate to say it, but Ohio State.
There you go, boy. You already know that, man. I keep telling people it's like boxing, like fight Ali or Mayweather. You got to knock off the champ. And the thing that, and I know Pratt didn't say it, but I'm gonna say it for him. The thing that proved that point was game number 1 of the season. Texas comes into the horseshoe. They come into Columbus to play. That is a very difficult assignment. It's like, Val, you majored in what you majored, and they give you a science exam. You're like, wait a minute, I ain't even got a science exam.
That's not me. I didn't sign up for that.
Well, I know what I'm doing. I'm calling Lisa Johnson and Megan. I'm like, look, what's the answers on that test? I'm gonna get them answers. But when you looking at that was the eyeball test, right? So you had last year's champion start the season off. Now, you talk about Alabama. So they lie in the SEC, in the South Conference. Their conference commissioner came out a few weeks ago and apologized to everyone. He says, we will move like the Big Ten starting next year, that the SEC will have to play a minimum of 9 conference games, which I'm like, hallelujah, that should have been happening. Only on top of that, they will have to play 3 games outside of the SEC against other Power 4, Power 5 teams. So that means 12 games of their 13 or 14 games now will be decided between the 2 best conferences in the nation, who holds all the money, right? The SEC and the Big Ten's got all the money. So now when you look at this and you're looking at the top 25 that you just put up, there's multiple ways to look at this thing. Until you knock off the Buckeyes, then you got to come get them. You can float things around and, these people do whatever they got to do. But I think, again, that the national championship goes through Columbus, Ohio. You got to beat them this year.
Oh, okay.
And Pratt, I love you. Sorry, Michigan ain't ready. They ain't ready just yet. I do like that freshman quarterback that y'all got, Pete, but I don't think they're ready to make it to the national championship game. Why?
Because of the quarterback is not ready to hit it.
He's a freshman. He's still learning. He's still learning his position. I just don't think when you match up as a freshman and the Coach Richardson's got them playing great. Michigan played great last year. They just they came off a championship season, and a lot of their players went to the NFL. And sometimes, Val, you got to rebuild. But this is going to show you how much money Ohio State got. They graduate Marvin Harrison and the boys last year, send damn near half the team or a quarter of the team to the NFL, came right back like they never skipped a beat. And they still undefeated right now, 5-0 in week 5. So Columbus, Pratt said, yeah, next year they'll be. Exactly. I'm going to give you that.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and do this because today is National Coaches Day. I was looking at the Bleacher Report, and they were talking about the top coaches. This was preseason before we came into here, and Texas is rated, the coach is rated at number 1. Ohio State comes in at number 2. Penn State comes in at number 3. Georgia at 4, and Notre Dame at 5. Talking about the coaches right. Poll, they did this, and so I said, well, let me mention this as we're talking about this being National Coaches Day. Would you agree with that, Coach?
I love it. Here's the problem. I go from that in reverse. Marcus Freeman, Notre Dame, love it. They slipped. He's the only brother that was in there. Now they're not even ranked top 10, top 12, top 15. So now Notre Dame is they're not even in the talking picture no more. They're not even thinking them, which they could be an underdog if they get on the run. Then you got Texas and Ohio State in there. They got the most money. Obviously, they had met up game 1 of the season, and the Buckeyes proved who was the best team from there. And if you are following Texas, you know that Eli Manning and Peyton Manning's nephew, Arch Manning, is the quarterback down there, and they high praised him, but he struggled against big-time teams and big-time programs week in and week out. And then the biggest disappointment is James Franklin. I love him to death, Penn State's coach. I thought they would make a deep run, possibly even get to the Final Four to get to the national championship game, but they dropped some games they shouldn't even drop, and it's crazy. And Coach Justin said it's all about the U. He a big Miami guy down there. He in the swamp, talking about it's all about Miami. And I like them. The funny part about it, Miami has come from number 13 or 14 when the season started. They're ranked number 2 right now behind the Buckeyes. But who do they have? They got Georgia University's ex-quarterback. He is now in the backfield in Miami. You know why, Val?
Why?
NIL money.
Wow.
Pay me. What it's about. And that's why I like what, and Pratt, I'm surprised you didn't say nothing about it. And Justin, I don't know if you read it, but that's why Tom Brady made the comment he made last week. You cannot scold, and we'll get to this next quarter with NFL and Cam Ward, because these players are moving year after year, Val. They may play for you on their freshman year. They may play for Coach Pratt's sophomore year, Coach Justin third year, and they finish with me. So in 4 years, they've not sat at one university, because loyalty doesn't exist anymore unless you got a big checkbook.
Well, like I said, we'll see what happens, because and Justin, he says Carson
got that
NIL money as well. But if you don't, do we really need to go professional if you have NIL money?
Hey,
I feel like
I'm gonna tell you right now, and hopefully you guys listen to me. If you got kids, you got niece, you got nephew, if they're anywhere in high school right now or get ready to go to college, listen to what I'm telling you right now, and I'm gonna echo Deion Sanders' word. If you want to become rich or have your child independent and they have the opportunity to go play Division I or Division II sports, especially football, basketball, volleyball now is coming alive, make sure that you got to know for sure they will be a professional athlete. And if they are not, let them sit there for 4 years and make as much money as they can get out your pocket and graduate with a degree, start their life off with some money they got. So it's good.
That's what's up. That's
and
what's
Tony,
up. Oh my goodness.
But we're going to take a halftime break right here real quick and come back with the NFL on the other side of the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony. And of course, with my ride or die up top of me right there, Val, the voice Johnson. Let's pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Right after this. Oh, I've always thought about how my mom has supported me in any creative endeavor. How beautiful was it for your mom to be the superhero in your life and show up in your creative ventures with this book?
People ask her to sign the book more than they ask me to sign the book. Sometimes I step to the side, I take their picture. And, we have to celebrate our mothers. We got to celebrate our beginning. So she comes out with me. Every event, she is there. Even when I tell her she does not need to come, she will show up in the parking lot. And I'm like, oh, okay, you coming? Okay. I'm like, all right.
Right. And she got a bottle of wine in her hand.
What in the world? Why are you giving her alcohol?
No, I'm just saying. She showed up in the parking lot. She got a bottle of wine, nice wine. She's going to set it down. She ready for the show, Val. You know what I'm saying? Because the funny part about it is, CJ, I've actually talked to Val. I thought about, writing a book myself called My Man's in There.
I love it.
And look at Val.
My man's in them.
My man's in there. But you got to read the book. You got to read the book. But it's a play. CJ, I apologize because Val should have dropped some old Dub C so you could have came out crip walking. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not flamed up right now. I got to hold on. Trying to get me shot.
Going back to school tomorrow, like I saw you, Miss Charles. I saw you.
I mean, I can crip walk, but please, but I'm kind of, authoring right now. You guys are funny.
Man, you know, when I come out that locker room at halftime, I'm usually really pumped, or my head hurt from screaming at everybody. So we back.
Who you screaming at? Don't scream at nobody. That's not necessary.
Funny, you know, we'll throw.
All right. I see Coach froze. Oh no, what happened? Well, welcome to the third quarter of the Pull Up Podcast Show. I thought it was. Oh, wait, there we go. Coach, you there? Oh, wow. Coach, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm still here. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was
you froze. You did this again, and I was waiting. I was like, I'm working on something else. I was like, oh wait, did he say?
I'm glad I'm that 90s child. When we did the robot back in the day, I'm just, you know, just freeze on the move or something like that. I'm telling you, but it's crazy. But I got an opportunity to send a quick shout out to my boy, Coach Dottie Johnson. You know, he invited me out to Lewis University, kicked it with him, you know, and his team. And man, it was really, really nice to just go out and hang out and see them. And the whole team looks good. And wishing them a great season this year. Girls look really good. They came over, Val, very respectful. Thanked me for coming to the practice. So it was very nice, really nice.
Oh, okay. I just found the photo. Let me go ahead and bring it up. And
hey, just that ain't my wife. I don't know what you. Hey man, I don't know what's up with that dog.
He just clowned you just now. He's just clowned you. I was like,
Justin,
oh,
you know I'm still on the AOL, man. Get up off me.
So that's at Lewis University. We're still honoring, it's still National Coaches Day, and Coach Dottie.
Coach Dottie, yep.
Yeah, so, Coach Dottie. I know he likes to go by the nickname Dottie. So yeah, that's at Lewis University. So thanks for sending that over to me so I could show it to the peoples.
Yeah, show it to the people. Yeah, Lisa, it wasn't crazy. You know, you guys will get a little rain kicking through the night, but we'll get storms, which is insane. You know, but we're gonna make it happen. But hey, we're in this NFL. And speaking of that, Justin had made some comment about his boys. So now I want to see what you're talking about, Justin, because the other week you on me and Val about your boy Lamar Jackson in the Baltimore Ravens. I was like, I'm not sure, and I told you now. What you thinking now? Because the NFL is up for grab. Yesterday, Val, we had some of the craziest games and upset. There is no more undefeated teams in the league. Buffalo Bills got taken down, and it was a bad break. Someone had got injured, and it was so bad they wouldn't even show it again. And the New England Patriots, Coach Vrabel, who just left Tennessee, which is strange. Now he's got the Patriots winning. And they end up knocking out Buffalo last night, 23-20, which was very interesting. And then Philadelphia Eagles, which was 4-0, they had their bell rang last night. So, it's Denver, playing in Mile High. I don't know if it's because, Val, they came from Philly and take 4,000 feet up in the air. I don't know. But they just didn't go out there and play well enough to win the game. And so now the NFL – there is no undefeated teams, and now we got a season, as they say.
Yeah, so it's anybody's grab and guess, and I'm just really excited to see where things are going to be going with. Because here's the thing, you can't bet on one team to just if they won the Super Bowl last year, that's nice. What are they do? What have you done for me lately? That's how I feel like what's happening right now. What play have you done for me lately?
That's what it pretty much comes down to me. But I can tell you that the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, and they have performed great. They were 4-0. Did they get caught up? The Eagles' problem is, unfortunately, they've got so much talent that Jalen Hunt can't possibly get everybody and make everybody happy. You got Saquon Barkley in the backfield running the ball hard. You got Devontae Smith coming across the middle, want the ball, and then my boy, which used to be in the gym with his sister, A.J. Brown at Fisk, running around as a kid before he became a major superstar. He wants the ball in his hand. So the Eagles, I think, until Coach can figure everything out with Philadelphia and get them back on the track, you know, they may lose a couple of more games before it's all said and done. The big question is Kansas City Chiefs, who nobody really likes, you know, of course, now that's Taylor Swift territory, came out and lost 3 games off the rip. But now they're making a comeback. So here's the question on the table, Justin, Pratt, and the guys tonight. Who is going to be the top 4 teams left standing, 2 on the AFC, 2 on the NFC?
Uh-oh, Coach, did I lose you? All right, Coach. Okay, so Coach froze again. Yeah, we'll have to invest in getting him better Wi-Fi. Justin said Ravens and Titans season is wrapped up like a Chipotle burro. Oh my gosh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I want the NFC.
Coach. Hey, Coach, can you just repeat everything you just said? You just asked the question. All right, Coach.
Yeah, I'm here. This has got to be streaming. This has never happened to me. But the question on the table, who's going to be the top 4 teams, 2 on the AFC, 2 on the NFC left standing? And like Justin said, the Ravens and the Titans, it's a wrap. We already get that. Great win yesterday by Tennessee with Cam. Justin says he's got Buffalo and the Chiefs going to play for the AFC title and the Eagles and the Lions on the NFC. Ooh, okay. I like that. Yeah, just now I should upgrade that AOL TDS, man. Probably thinking about going to get me some Xfinity or something, you know. so I can at least be good. I may have to trade in the whole system, you know what I mean? But I think on the NFC side of the house, I got to go with my nephew out west up in San Fran. I think my nephew's back in the yard. I think San Francisco, I think Juwan Jennings and the crew get it done. I think the 49ers push on in there. And I'm going to go out on a limb, a big-time limb. Justin, you may not like this one, but I like what Harbaugh is doing in Cali with the L.A. boys. He got them playing. He got them playing. But I like it. On the AFC side of the house, is really simple. It's going to be Buffalo Bills. And I don't think KC makes it back at all. I think Taylor Swift, the wedding and all that with Travis Kelce coming up, crazy mixes up down the road. And I really think the Denver Broncos. The Broncos is the sleeper team in the AFC. And I think the Denver Broncos get it done, matches up with the Buffalo Bills. And I think that's how that side of the house moves on. Oh, and by the way, that for promotional purposes only.
I was just about to say that, like, if you guys are doing any of those things, FanDuel or whatever that stuff is, Coach likes to put those things out there, and we have to always say just to protect ourselves for promotional purposes only.
If you had bet my 10-game run in the college football last year, you probably had a brand new house or at least a brand new car, because I went 12 for 12, didn't lose a game in the college playoff. I actually knew somebody that's here, put my bets on his bet and cleared a couple 5,700. But do you think he gave me my 15%, Val? I'm still looking for him.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be looking. You're gonna be looking. Johnny also says AFC Chargers and Bills. And then...
there you go. He liked them Chargers and Bills. Okay. And what about the NFC though? Pratt, I need the NFC from you too. I know your boys left, St. Louis to go to Cali, but I need that the NFC, and tell me what you're thinking about.
I'm just liking what's happening with the Bears. I need you to comment on what's happening with our Bears.
I'm ready for you to say that. What?
Oh no, where did he go? Oh man, thunderstorms are in the area of Nashville, and Coach is having a couple of streaming issues, possibly because the weather is messing him up. The Bears have been doing so much better in the last couple of games, and I have been following them and checking them out. I'm grateful. Their Bears are they're fourth in the NFC North right now, and
what's happening with them is I want to hear somebody tell me.
Okay.
All right, my bad. I'm sorry.
All right, so coach, you went out. I was just giving a little synopsis of what was going on.
It ain't no Chicago bias. I'm gonna be honest, Justin. Ain't even no bias. They are, according to ESPN today, the NFC North division is the toughest division right now in all of football. You've got the Detroit Lions 3-1 inside the conference. Minnesota won. The Bears is now back in the hunt of things, and Green Bay is there because of what happened with them on that tie ball game that they had a tie. So there's not another conference that you got that you have teams that are within a half a game, not in a full game, but within a half a game of each other in the conference. Because like you said, the Titans are done, go to the other ones, they're done. Now, will the Bears make a run? I think they will make a run. Their schedule shows they got 3 or 4 weak games in the middle here. The problem is on the backside of the Bears schedule, Val, we got Minnesota again. We got Detroit coming to Chicago. And we obviously got them hated Green Bay Packers, cheeseheads, coming to see us. So that's how that's going to run. And Justin, if we can go a third, meaning that we can win 1 out of 3 of them games, then we'll still be in the hunt coming down the stretch. And Caleb Williams is playing much better football right now.
Oh, wait, Justin saying the Bears done won 2 games and now they're going to the playoffs. Laugh out loud.
And they're going to Super Bowl, y'all. Yeah, we ain't saying that. They won 2. I'm trying to tell you, I said there are everybody within that division is within a half a game. 1 win here, 1 win there. You're looking at a very tight conference. And the black and blue division, Justin, that's why they call it the black and blue. Come on up there and get your ass popped with some bruises, some black and blue bruises. That's all.
But I'm biased. So
thank you, Lisa. Lisa said.
What Lisa say? What'd she say?
She said the Bears has had a very, very terrible loss to Detroit. Absolutely,
yes,
completely blowout. Like I think that they was homesick when they went to Detroit. That's what happened. And then she says she was there in the stands, and it was bad. And I love the Bears. However, I think that there is going to be a weak spot in their camp that teams will eventually explode. Exactly. Because you have got a tough division like that. And when you have got to play each other 2 times, because this is the NFL, not college, then you have that opportunity to work something out. I don't have to be better than you 2 weeks from now. All I got to do is be on a run this week and next week, and I can get you. You know, obviously, look at what happened this week, right? Buffalo got by New England Patriots. Justin, they only had 2 wins, right? Look at what happened with Buffalo. Buffalo ended up getting the Eagles. They only had 2 wins. So anything can happen. And when you're in the division that the Bears play in, we already know that's a very, very tough division. And there's only one other division that has snow like our division, and that's the Broncos.
Well, like I said, and Megan, she says, I don't care. Always a fan, thinking positively. So thank you, Megan, because I feel the same way. I'm just gonna pray. Lord.
Please. Nah, ain't doing that.
I'm biased.
I ain't biased. If they getting drugged, they getting drugged. I'm like Lisa. They get drugged is a bad deal. She was in the stands. She had to sit there and eat some hot dog, that beautiful Chicago hot dog, by the way. And she had to watch this bad game and then had to go home with it on her mind. She didn't have to do that in Chicago. Lisa, I know what you were really thinking. You were thinking, damn, are they going to sit here and stay in Soldier Field or are they going to go to Arlington Heights? You should be thinking like that in the stands.
And we should definitely make sure that the Bears stay in Chicago on the lakefront at Soldiers Field. We should not be going anywhere close to Arlington Heights. That's my take. That's my opinion. That's all I got.
You better get a book and act like Jesse Jackson and Obama and start knocking on doors then.
Oh my gosh.
You're gonna need some signatures. You better go all the way down to GI and work your way back from Gary through East Chicago back in. Because if they move out, you're going to lose a lot of blue-collar fans. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's what's up. So.
Hey, we're going to take our last break of the day, and we got a topic that's off the charts, and we're going to need everybody want to see what they got to say. We'll take our last break of the day on the Pull Up Podcast Show with your boy, the one and only Coach Tony, and my ride or die, Val, the voice. We'll be right back. Talk to me. Who you got?
I mean, just look at the lineup on the Millennials. You got Steph Curry, best three-point shooter in of all time. Matter of fact, we got Kevin Durant, KD, you know, Slim Reaper, one of the best players, you know. We got Harden, Joker, and of course, LeBron James, the GOAT of basketball himself. And, you know, he's the all-time leading scorer, you know, brings teams from the bottom all the way to the top. Without him, I mean, man.
I'm going to answer that in a minute.
Basketball even be?
I'm going to give you that in a minute. But, okay, Coach Justin, what you got?
Man, it's tough. I'm thinking about it. Magic is going to be AI. Jordan is going to be Kobe. Shaq is going to get the edge on Hakeem Olajuwon. Tim Duncan is going to get the edge on Charles Barkley. Larry may have the edge. Millennials, I got to X out the Millennials just because they have James Harden on there. If they might replace him with someone else that I could think of, I probably would pick the Millennials over everybody.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up.
So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Mercury for advancing to the finals. And I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money. It isn't ratings or even missed calls or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leaders. Sorry, I had to walk here in my boot. I'm kind of out of breath. The league has a buzzword that they've rolled out as talking points for the CBA as to why they can't pay the players what we're worth. That word is sustainability. But what's truly unsustainable is keeping a good product on the floor while allowing officials to lose control of games. Fans see it every night. Coaches, both winning and losing, point it out every night in pregame and postgame media. Yet leadership just issues fines and looks the other way. They ignore the issues that everyone inside the game is begging to be fixed. That is negligence. At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Cathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got.
Man, all I can do is be silent right now. You know, as a women's basketball coach, 25 years on the sideline, 16 years with the women, this just simply blows me away. I'm going to ride with Asia Wilson's comment. I know you have that. We talked about that. And that is Cathy Engelbert is the commissioner of the WNBA. Coach Justin and I just talked about this a few weeks ago. The owners, I'm waiting to hear what they're going to say. They are set to make. Before I give you this amount, Val, do you know what the owners of the WNBA teams combined is set to make this upcoming season? combined?
Well, let's see. If I do my math correctly, the league at one point wasn't supposedly making a lot of money, but
we think we
definitely
talk about the owners.
there's more eyeballs. There's more eyeballs on the league, and definitely star players like Caitlin and Angel. So for myself, I'm thinking around 10 to 30 million. I'm wondering if that's low, but I'm just throwing that out there, Coach.
Girl, you ain't even bought a pair of shoes in the hood. 10 to 30. you still shopping on the west side, ain't you? On Madison. You still pulling up on Madison in the hood down there by Jewtown and ain't there no more? For those that don't know, that's outside downtown Shy. Listen, the owners of the WNBA this upcoming year is set to make $1.5 trillion with a T, not with a B, $1 trillion. So it's crazy because they're talking about this. And Cathy Engelbert is the commissioner. Now, Napheesa Collier is the president represent for the players, and all the girls are behind her. Now, right now, Las Vegas is up 2-0 over Phoenix. And if you could, Val, I think I sent you the play. If you could play that play real quick at the end of the game, the steal on Alyssa Thomas with Napheesa Collier that ignited that comment, then I'll say something. Let me know when you have that queued up. But you had an incident, everybody, that game deciding. If Minnesota wins it, they move on. They lose it, they go home. 4 seconds, 6 seconds on the clock. And from me watching the game with my natural eye, like, oh my God, what a beautiful pick. Because Alyssa Thomas took the left hand inbound play, ripped her. What I didn't see was the physical contact that they later on played. So if you have the play, I think I sent it to you. Not that one, it's Coach Val. But if you have the actual
the actual play, ESPN, I told you about that. So this one I probably can play. So let's do this one.
Few people noticed, but within 24 hours of Minnesota Lynx had incidents that directly affected game results, with some even leading to player injuries. Right after the game, the Lynx took action. First, they publicly backed their coach and filed an official protest with the league, demanding a full review of the officiating. They argued that unfair refereeing not only ruins the integrity of the game, but also puts players' safety at risk. Second, the team didn't just stop at one case. They joined forces with other teams, calling on the WNBA to introduce new policies to regulate officiating, improve transparency, and prevent these controversies from happening again. Third, the Lynx showed they're serious about protecting their players. In this very game, star forward Napheesa Collier was injured due to a bad call, and she made it clear, if referees and league rule.
Man,
right, so that, yeah.
So as you can see, great steal, but she hit her with that left leg, and Napheesa Collier hit her, and I was pissed because for promotional purposes only, I'm not even going to say how much my FanDuel ticket was worth. Coach Justin knows. But it ruined me. So imagine I'm mad. Imagine how many people in Vegas, right? Because in Vegas right now, Vegas has Las Vegas versus Minnesota, which is the game or the series they wanted to see, right? But that didn't happen. So in a nutshell, Napheesa Collier called out the WNBA Commissioner, Cathy Engelbert. Sources say they haven't spoken since about a week now. And they were pretty tight what she thought. But the difference is the commissioner doesn't have the players on their side. And I'm telling you right now, listening from Coach Tony right now, I'm giving it to you months prior to, I think the WNBA will walk out like the NBA did back in the late 80s, and you will have a stalemate. You will have, right now, if you're in Europe playing and something like that, sharpen your shoes and your game because you may get called up to the league for a quick contract. Because that is. But what makes me mad more than anything, Val, I mean, you always talk about this. That is what the men make in just taxes. The women don't even get that in full paycheck.
Yeah. And I think what's most important is her calling these things out. And I think people were, she said something like this because her team lost and their team missed going into the WNBA finals. But when I saw the call, when I saw the play, I was thinking, well, why didn't they call that? And the coach got extremely heated and they ejected
I'm
her.
throwing out that game myself too.
Yeah, they ejected her from the game, but it was just this weird bias of officiating. It's like everyone needs to be held to the same standard as officiating in NBA games as
Correct.
well as other types of games. And that type of call, it was a travel steal. I don't know, but ultimately she was injured. Collier was injured in the turnaround. There was a turnaround, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, why didn't somebody blow a whistle or something like that? And if you notice, this was the fourth quarter. This was the fourth quarter.
Game
Minnesota, the game ending. So this was 76 and to 82. Phoenix had 82. Minnesota was at 76. At 21.8 seconds left in this when all of this went down.
About a 76, 80, you're talking about a 76, 80 point game at that time. They scored that value. Now you're talking about a 78, 79, 80. Different game with 30 seconds in the NBA game. A lot of time. Let's do this real quick, Val. We are now kicking in overtime, and we're going to stay right here.
Oh, we sure are. So let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, now Lisa, great point. Lisa says, wow, just wow. She just couldn't believe it. All the players need to sit out. I do believe that's what's going to happen. And, looking at this money that these owners are going to make. And Val, you made a great point there. When I looked at it with the naked eye, I said, wow, it was a great steal. I was just like you. I was like, man, what a beautiful steal. But when I came back and they slowed it down and you saw that took Napheesa Collier, one of the best players in the NBA behind A'ja Wilson, out. So she didn't even play game 4. So the very next game, if they would have had her, they'd have probably blown Phoenix out, because without her, McBride went off 40 and they were up 16 points in the fourth quarter until Phoenix ran back and won the game. With Napheesa, ball game wrap, this is not even discussion. But I think what she did, which I love the way she wrote that letter, had nothing to do with her injury. And I love how she put that in the first sentence. She said, had nothing to do with me getting hurt, had nothing to do with the foul. What it had to do with is these officials is not making the right calls. And then they did their homework. 20 people have been injured, Val, over the last few years with bad referee calls. But here's the problem to that. The women are having to prove themselves to the owners that they can play just as physical of a ball game as the men are doing in the NBA. And obviously we know they're two different people, two different type of bodies, and that cannot occur. If they really want to know, and they look at statistics, my little cousin is orthopedic surgeon, the top doctor in Mississippi. Shout out to Derek Burgess. And he's got a podcast, Sports Doctor with Dr. Derek. He talks about this. 285,000 ACL surgeries a year. Do you know how many of those that women make up, Val?
I don't know. How many?
178,000 of those surgeries. 178,000 ACL surgeries out of a little under 300,000 are women. Why? Because of the physicality of the game, and they feel they got to prove something every single time. Because, not unfortunately, but fortunately, the women play the game the right way, because they're not a lot of them dunking. They don't use the Euro steps. They're not doing a lot of fancy move, but these girls can flat out hoop, and they've been doing everything they can do to put on a good show. Now, here's what's another funny stat I just told Coach Justin the other day, and you may not know this. The rise in viewership this year for the WNBA. Can you guess where it came from?
The rise in viewership, because I could make the assumption that the rise came from certain players, maybe in certain markets. The former
that had nothing to do with. We're talking about viewership. What the rise?
Viewership.
The rise in viewership came from where? Can you imagine?
I can imagine possibly from just certain sponsors.
Nope.
Certain sponsors. Nope.
No.
Okay.
So the rise in viewership this year has pushed the WNBA where they got to be is young boys between 14 and 18 years old have now tapped into the WNBA, bringing the viewership for men up to 59% and women only 42%. So me and Coach Justin was talking about this the other day, and Coach Justin was saying he made a great point. He's like, the women are complaining and other women that are watching the game are complaining, but why are not more women watching the game? And that's a very good question. If almost 60% of men watching it, and I know why that's probably going on, Val, because most of these are dads, right? It's right, sisters and brothers, right, or nephews that are watching their aunties or something playing, or their cousins. So, and little boys, boys just want to hoop. So that's what's going on. But when you look at this and you look at what they've done, I like how she ended the letter. She was like, until you can get us some bona fide, qualified referees like the NBA got, because that's what they do. See, the WNBA don't have a summer league. And that's the advantage the NBA has. For those that don't know, the NBA goes out to Vegas every year in July for 3 weeks. And they go to either Utah or Portland. Correct. So I got a kid, shout out to John Prim, JP, big shout out. Nashville kid, played at Asheville University. Now he's a NBA referee. And I talked to him, by the way, Val. He wants to be on the show. I can't wait to have him. So Coach Justin definitely needs you on that one. But when you're looking at this and you're saying you got to put a good quality product on the floor and the women in the WNBA, in order to get the viewership there, what do you got to do, Val? When you watch the WWF, right, or WCW, what are you there watching? Somebody get hit over the head with a chair. Somebody get thrown out the ring. Somebody catch an elbow, blood flying out. That's exciting to a lot of people, right? And that's what these guys want to see from the WNBA. And unfortunately, what's happening? The best girl in the league, Caitlin Clark, growing in it, didn't play this year. Viewership was still up, sunk by 10% because she wasn't there playing. Angel Reese got grabbed around the neck by Lisa Thomas, slung out of bounds. Brittany Griner took somebody out the air. I can go on and on up to this Napheesa Collier incident. I get it.
Yeah, and I wanted to just bring this up just based on my research. The top WNBA players that they're making close to their maximum salary annually, which is $250,000.
Well, you got to divide that by 3, Val, because the $250,000 is a 3-year deal. Caitlin Clark is the highest WNBA player right now. She makes right at $76,000, $78,000 a year. That's it.
Yeah, and when I thought about that, I'm thinking to myself that if they didn't have the sponsorship and the deals outside of the WNBA, they wouldn't be making millions. But it's because it's a notoriety thing with Caitlin, Napheesa, and other players like that. But I'm thinking, why are you making like a banker's salary? I feel like that's a salary that you would make at, I don't know, one of the banks or something, and you were like an executive like that. That seems like, so $250,000 is encompassing 3 years. Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, Coach Don Staley, love her to death. I'm trying to get Don. We just had Coach Diane Richardson for Temple. Big up. Appreciate you, Coach. I got all the shirts. Thank you. Love you. And she's trying to get Coach Don Staley on here, and I can't wait to talk about it. But Coach Don Staley just signed and inked a $20 million deal to coach college basketball, of which she is, my niece, Alexis Jennings came through there, Asia Wilson, Elisa Boston, all these came through her. And she's got a product contract. Her product contract with all that designer stuff on the sideline, that Gucci and Prada, it's worth more than what these girls are making in WNBA. And that's what Napheesa Collier was saying, Val. As Cathy Engelbert is the commissioner of the league, and you make a comment that you better be glad that Caitlin Clark is making $16 million outside of the league. That's nothing to do with, that's to do with her dad, who is her agent, who's been pushing and selling her since Iowa, right? She was Jake from State Farm, Come on, man. Everybody will roll with Jake from State Farm, gonna get paid and insured at the same time, right? Then Nike cut her a deal. Not a Nike shoe. Then she got Gatorade. This girl is a walking billboard for females. And I understand we have some hatred going on, but without her doing the things that she's doing and pushing that bill, boom, you don't get these bigger paychecks. Now, like Lisa just said, I hope they set out to send a message. And if these players can unite, it'll be good. The only bad part about that was on Lisa's comment is Caitlin Clark didn't make a comment when
He sure didn't.
talked about it. That's the only thing I don't like, and that kind of goes back. If you guys remember, Michael Jordan did the same thing back after the stalemate in '88. They set out, they got the Scabs playing, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, all these guys said something. They were waiting to hear from Mike. Mike never said nothing. So the question begs you is, should the stars step up and do their duties and say something because they got the league on their back, or should they just continue to do what they're doing?
If they want to see change happen in their league, and definitely, I think the injuries is what I'm most concerned about.
Right.
Because when a woman gets injured, it's not just her knee, her hip, her foot, or something. We are mothers or future mothers.
Correct.
Can we be injured and never have children anymore?
Exactly.
I think the right of the players' rights of their health need to be protected more because they're women. And if they want to have children or not, I don't want anyone elbowing me in the stomach. Not that I've seen that happen or anything, but I don't want anyone doing that and then literally taking myself out where I won't be able to have children because I've played this very supposedly rough sport.
Right. But I'm not even going to go personal like that. I'm going to go real talk. Real talk. Real talk is just about. Last year's NBA rookies that get drafted, minimum contract, 3-year deals, somewhere in the ballpark between minimum of 7.5 to 12 mil. That's on the bottom. The bottom.
Okay. The bottom.
Feeder. You're making almost 10 mil, right? If you got injured during that contract and could not come back, you're walking away from the game with $10 million in your pocket. With the right advisor, like a Coach Justin in my pocket from Charles Schwab, with the right advisor and doing some things and some people around me, I can make that 10 mil work for me and I'm all right. At least I'm not coming home asking my mom and daddy for money, right? So let's think about it. We're not even talking about big contract. We're talking about the minimums. Now, the maximum on the WNBA is a Caitlin Clark at $250, just to say $300,000 for easy numbers. At $300,000, like you said, Val, that's a high-paid executive at a corporate office.
It is.
And if she gets hurt, $300,000 is gone in about a year to two.
Yeah.
So that's the space that we got to fill in that I want, and I hope that the players, the commissioner, and everything. And for those that like the WNBA product, like myself, when these votes come around, they send it to you via email or links. When you see it pop up on the games and all that, because kind of go back to the big thing that happened to LeBron. Remember when the congressman tried to tell LeBron to shut up and dribble, and then I love what he did. He took a shirt and said shutupandribble.com, and then just sold more T-shirts than a woman makes in a year in Washington. This is what that young lady right there, Caitlin Clark, has to do. She has to recognize that she is the face of the WNBA. And I get some people arguing me of that, but if it ain't her, is A'ja Wilson. Asia's already stepped up and said, I'm with Napheesa Collier. But we know things dribble around what Caitlin Clark is doing. We understand that. And if she jumps in and says to the girls, I'm with you, then it makes it easier to go what Lisa was talking about, getting these girls paid. Then they can walk out on the CBA, because that new CBA contract is coming next year. So that's the big question: is will they sign it or will they walk?
Yeah, and we'll be making sure, because right now we got the Lynx and the Aces playing in the WNBA Finals. Not that we're ignoring them at all, but we want a league that the girls can come back to, get paid and respected, and be respectful of their health. Like, you should, and let's get some good officials that's going to call properly and not be, as I think Lisa even said, I think some of the officials might be on the take. I pray that that's not what's happening, but yeah.
That's right there, Lisa, I get it. And that's why I'm gonna have my boy Jay Pram on here talking about that. I can't wait just for that. And that night I got him on, Lisa, I want to make sure you on the show, because that'd be a great question to ask him in maybe a little different way. But I like that question on the table. And so, man, it's been great with you guys tonight. I appreciate y'all pulling up. You know, Val, this is one of those nights that you just sit back and just chill out. Great, great show, good information. But coming up on what we got to rock and roll with is,
well, we want to talk about what you do. What is the Rise? What's that about?
Man, the Rise, we work with a lot of these kids, a lot of the players with their NIL deals. Talked to Megan, got her son Alex, big time proud of you, going down to UNK St. Louis to play ball. Love it. And he was back home this weekend, but he was putting up shots, putting in some work until she said, boy, you got to get the hell up out this house and get on this train and get on back to school Sunday. So, put him on, get on back down to St. Louis. But yeah, I work with these kids and athletes. We making sure that we brand everybody together, making sure that the kids that deserves opportunity to unleash the potentials that they got, Val, to push and sell brands, making sure that they can maximize the money opportunity that's coming about, making sure that we can do that. And we just make sure we do a lot of that, because these kids are out here playing ball, and I'm hoping that the Rise can help them make it. So if you want to know more information about NIL process and how those deals work, pull up on me at www.rizenil.com and learn a little bit more.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right. And of course, for myself, I wrote a book, and I want to thank Melanie Baker and a few other folks that purchased a book from me over the weekend. It's called A DJ Saved My Life. You can go to purelightHousemedia.com, or you can scan the QR code to order the book. I will personally sign it and send it to you. I got a few more copies left, getting ready to do another big order. But of course, it's the memoir of how being a virtual DJ and a podcaster saved my life during the weird thing called the pandemic.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So we're excited about that. But on tomorrow, we are going to be doing, I want to do this, Coach, because we're going to be talking a lot about our fun time that we had at North Central College over the weekend with homecoming. We should count down some of our favorite homecoming movies that we like, because I'm thinking about Stomp the Yard. I'm thinking about
we do that.
I'm thinking about a couple of these other movies. So we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, that's the topic I'm thinking about. We should tackle our favorite movies around the homecoming theme.
I like that. And make sure y'all continue to pull up with me. Again, next week we're gonna bring in my boy, the one and only Walter Johnson, on the show. Gonna be with me, rock and roll. And by the way, classmate, right here, your boy got an award, podcast award, Star Fame Award, coach and change agent. I'm changing things. Got my own Walk of Fame star. I'm on the move.
That's right. So you are an award-winning podcaster, but we are going to be happy to have Walter Johnson on next week. Woohoo! The outstanding alumni. Woohoo!
Yeah, I can't wait. The brother made a big difference in my life. It's been really good, and just glad to see that he was blessed this past weekend. But again, thank you guys for pulling up with us tonight on the Pull Up Podcast Show. Megan, thank you. I appreciate it. Lisa, thank you for the comment. Coach Justin, Jay Pratt, appreciate you guys and everyone out there that tuned in tonight. Thank you very much. But Val, you know what we do. Peace.
Oh yeah, peace. See you guys on tomorrow. Woo-hoo. Oh, here it is. Bye.
It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up, pull up. Bounce the boys and Coach Tony, it's the Pull Up Podcast. Show. I said bounce the boys Then Coach Tony, you know, it's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, I said Kev is the engineer. Val is the one you hear. Hey, Coach Tony got the sports show. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. So, it's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. Hey. Let's go. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast. Pull up. It's the Pull Up Podcast. It's the Pull Up Podcast.